When you think of most wanted killers in Dead by Daylight, is there anybody more wished for than Jason Voorhees? Recently, with some Fortnite rumors going around, there's been a lot of online discourse, especially with some certain behavior from the official Jason Universe social media accounts. So I think it's safe to say that if the respective parties are interested in talking, now is when they'll be doing it. And so I present to you my concept for Jason Voorhees in Dead by Daylight, also known as the Slasher. But first, before we get too far in, any coincidence to any other videos about Jason concepts are purely coincidental, with one exception, similar to the concept created by Stalked, which is an amazing video by the way. I wanted Jason to have two sides to his power, a stealth mode and a rage mode. Jason's power is named Mama's Boy. By default, he starts in stealth mode and moves at a speed of 4.2 meters a second, the same as Michael Myers in Tier 1. And Jason also has a tear radius of 24 meters in this mode. By holding M2, Jason is able to track survivors within 36 meters using their auras for 5 seconds before going on a 45-second cooldown. Whenever Jason uses this part of his power, every survivor in the trial will then hear the iconic soundbite, regardless if they are in range or not. This will create tension in the trial as survivors try to figure out if they are the ones being tracked or not, while also paying homage to the movies. Next is Jason's Rage. He now moves at 4.6 meters a second, and his terror radius is now 36 meters. In this mode, Jason embodies the true spirit of a slasher and becomes the ultimate M1 killer. While holding M2 and charging for 3 seconds, Jason straightens his posture and is able to walk through both pallets and destructible walls, instantly destroying them, but unable to attack until the end lag of his ability, another 3 seconds. However, when fully charged, Jason can also grab survivors through windows, similar to the movies, which will allow him to instantly pick up like both Wesker and Springtrap, but will also take him out of his rage mode. When leaving rage mode by choice, the cooldown is 20 seconds, but it is forced by downing a survivor hooking one, and then the cooldown is extended to a total of 40 seconds. Finally is the third part of Jason's ability. Similar to Springtrap, Jason has a strong connection to the entity and is able to use his teleportation from the movies in the trials by setting up teleportation points using entity markings wherever he stands at the time. These markings are only accessible if both Jason and the teleport destination are not seen by survivors. If found by survivors, they can be removed, similar to the Demogorgon, and Jason will be alerted whenever they are. While not actually addressed in the movies themselves, Jason has this weird little ability to teleport, and it's always when he's not in sight of anyone, but it's always where he exactly needs to be at the moment. To replicate this, I wanted to give the survivor control of where they will actually be teleporting to and from. However, I also wanted to feel like Jason's power is very oppressive, but it also takes time to use properly, which I think matches his behavior in the movies, where it actually takes some time before Jason starts really getting going at the end. For Jason's Mori, he picks them up off the floor and then crushes their head in with both of his hands, a direct reference to part 3, where he does this exact kill. It's also my favorite one in the series. I've also quickly written up some perks for Jason, and the first one is Death Curse. When survivors are unhooked, the hook is automatically sabotaged for 60, 40, or 20 seconds. However, in a 15, 30, or 45 meter radius, the killer's actions are increased by 5, 10, or 15%, and lunge attack range is increased by 50, 60, or upwards of 70%. Jason's second perk is Campfire Stories. When the killer chases a survivor, all other survivors hear the terror radius from the same distance as the chase survivor. However, perks that rely on being inside the terror radius will not be affected by it. Finally is Jason's last perk, Scourge Hook, Mother's Revenge. When the killer leaves the hook's 50, 40, or 30 minute radius, Mother's Revenge activates, granting the killer 4, 8, or 12% haste for 4, 6, or 8 seconds. I don't think any of these perks are necessarily good aside from Mother's Revenge, but I'm still really satisfied with how they came out, and I think they can make for fun niche builds. And for the last part of this video, I wanted to talk about potential cosmetics for Jason. I think his outfit from Friday the 13th Part 2 would be really nice, especially having a different mask like the bag over his head. I also think Uber Jason would be a really nice skin to have, And then for separate pieces, a torso where it's just the jacket from Freddy vs. Jason would be really cool. And a selection of his different masks from over the years. I think that'd be really sick. And for a legendary cosmetic, I think Jason should have a skin of Pamela Voorhees with a unique Mori where she uses a shovel to behead the survivor, just like the way she was killed in the first film. I really want to hear what you guys think of my concept, if there's anything you change about it or what you think his part could be instead. Also, huge shout out to Silver Comet. You guys might know them from the streams I do over on Twitch, but they really helped out with feedback on this concept, so thank you so much for that. Finally, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch. Have a wonderful rest of your day.